tips: introductions, attention getters, setup, and framing. So lots of people kind of push always introducing yourself when you start a speech. And that's not my thing. If you want to introduce yourself, I would never say that's bad, right? But I think having that as a compulsory, we always do that, is kind of odd. That I don't know, I don't think you have to introduce yourself to audiences who already know you. Or there can be other creative ways to reference that connection or make that bond. So, just make the critical choice. Should I introduce myself or not? And if you don't need to introduce yourself, or there's a trick, starting with an attention getter is often very, very, very effective. So instead of, me introducing myself and saying, hey, today my topic is this, let's say I'm doing music education, and how it's connected to all of these topics. What if instead I just started playing the tambourine? And then started to show somehow, maybe doing different beats and linking it to math or something. And then leading into the rest of the introduction. If you wanted to introduce yourself still, start with the tambourine and then go in, like, hey, I'm, right, go into it afterwards if you need to. Nothing says you can't, right? So starting with something attention getting is often much more effective, and really think about, like, make the choice to just start that way. So sometimes people will say, okay, before I start my speech, I'm gonna ask you some questions, and then they'll start the questions, and the questions are great. Like, how many of you have ever swiped left or whatever it is, right? So then it's like, just start with that. Cut the preamble. Start strong with something that's going to get them interested, right? And that, right, starting with an attention getter really helps to set up the frame of the speech. So when we're talking about the intro, we're talking about the purpose sentence and the preview, and, in my ideal world, you've got the attention getter and then a link, some sort of context that leads us into the beautiful thesis. And then previewing the rest of the speech, this now sets up a framework for what all of your information, or for speech 2, your argument, is put into. So keep thinking about the setup and how to structure it as a frame that then helps envelop the rest of your speech. Have a great day.